Ready for tea time, little old lady?
Tea time?
I'm gonna dish the tea
Oh, tea.
on Uncle Sam and all of his creepy cohorts. Because I tell the world all I know, and I got a history of telling the truth. I used to drink alcohol, and then they said, you can't rely on anything that she says, because drunks will lie. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I better not drink alcohol then. Yet they continued to drink. But I was the one that stopped. Because they told me that people drank were not creditable people, but I stopped drinking. And they kept drinking, so they're telling me they're not of the population of creditable by their own defines. I already had an eventful day. Fucking wiped out, man. Fell off the curb. God just said, boop! You need to come down there, Turbo. You need to cool your jets, Marjo. That's what really happened. But that's alright. I was walking around and there's people in towns all over America. America! Fucking croc wearing. Fucking. I better watch it because God already knocked me down once today. Let me humbleize myself a little bit. So I went walking around. I made me a t-shirt. See it? Can you see it?
How nice.
I'm going to have a pro one done. With an little upside down flag over my heart. Because my heart's broke. Because this whole country is a lie. I wish people would get that it's a contrived reality. It's a production. Hollywood, where they make movies to get people to believe things. Oh, the American dream. So DC can perpetuate that storyline so they can sell tickets so people watch the movies about perpetuating the American dream. And it just... Are you following me? But see, the people that were in the... That's why they don't want... They don't want the intelligent in positions of authority. They don't want intelligent, logical, reasonable people. No, they don't want. They want people they can control. That are fearful people. That somebody above them, because they believe in hierarchical shit, can instill the fear in them, and then they're like, okay, I'll do whatever you say. Because we're conditioned, that frequency, that everybody's conditioned to be up here all excited about everything. So people at Taos, there's a whole bunch of them on this street. I stood there because I was trying to gain my bearings after I turned my ankle. And all these people, I fell down, I fucking wiped out so hard. Dude stopped in the middle of the road and was like, bro, you alright? I'm just cradled in the gutter. Yeah, I'm good. Do this all the time. My ankle pops out. Just more shit I get over. How come everybody else is so tender? So, I'm standing there and I'm showing people my shirt. And out of probably 120 people that passed me, 2 people, exactly 2. Actually, one guy at the end, he was like with Taos Gay Pride. I should have gave him some of my stickers. But I wasn't in the mood after my ankle hurt so bad. And I busted that same knee. I busted my same fucking knee that I busted the same day Benny died. And then a month later, I busted the same knee. And then like 2 weeks, I just keep busting. And then my friend just put something, she sent me a text message. I sent her a picture of it. I'm too old for this shit. I'm 51. But it's always good to learn how to, you always gotta stay up on taking a fucking fall, So, look at this shit.
Whoa.
Look at that. That's from today.
Whoa, that is good.
This is from when Benny died. And then I had a raspberry that big too. And then I cracked it from when, yeah, so, you know, it's not all fucking love and light. I got an ankle brace on too. I'm like, I better start talking softer because I'm getting to be of the age that my body is not going to be able to back up my mouth. And I live in the last place state, and fucking people, the dim-witted, the unintelligent, they have tendencies to be more No, actually, it has nothing to do with demographics or how much money is somebody's in bank account or how much advantage they've had or privilege they had. It's just about this frequency that people have in them, and it's absence to connection of source. And there's these little fucking shit stains that just like to go around killing people in New Mexico. 16, 17 years old. I blame generations of the program enhanced by Grand Theft Auto. It makes killing cool, you know, and people don't think that's a thing until they come to New Mexico. It's fucking bizarre, man. It's weird. This guy killed a fucking Uber driver. Just was having a bad day. 16-year-old kid doesn't know what a fucking bad day is. Wanted to blow off some steam. So got an Uber and then fucking execution style. Boom! Back of the head. Guy didn't even know what hit him. You know, so it's not safe on planet Earth. So people have to really start listening to their gut and their discernment on, you know, so. Because everybody's fucking unhinged everywhere because toddlers get Jordans, so this is what the rest of society gets. Us that discipline ourselves. Like, I was at the tire store the other day, and I was talking to my friend Fragine, and there's this dude that was sitting in the chair right here, and I talk, and people think I'm talking to myself, but I'm talking in my headset, and so I'm talking to her, and I said, and I took a picture, I said, look at this shit. I said, they still have these little fucking stickers on the floor, this stay 6 feet apart. I said, I will never forgive the fucking middle midgets of this country that made me do that shit. And if you go back to my videos around 2019, 2020, I'm like talking about the whole shit. Like, dude, they're just making the puppets dance, and look at the puppets dance. You know, it's all contrived. It's all reality. It's an all contrived reality. When I enlisted, I got to Offutt Air Force Base in 2001, July. Shortly after I got there, I got a DUI, which means I couldn't do my job, but they didn't kick me out. I got sober like 8 months later. But I was a hard worker. And evidently I got the good blood. But shortly after, the imposed reality of men in a cave bombing, it's just stupid, dude. I remember on PBS in the late 80s watching freaking shows on, if people did this, the Twin Towers will fall, and then fast forward, they did that and it did. First they say, then they do. It's a script. First they decide, and then they say this is how it will be because they think they're the fucking gods. Playing their little lip-dit reindeer games. 2024. The administration of this country. So you single moms out there and dads, you single parents struggling, you people on the street don't have a roof over their head because you don't got enough money, you need some help to pay all these exorbitant prices that these greedy motherfuckers want you to pay so they don't gotta work too. 58 million on fucking boner pills. That's what America spent last year. Not to mention all the money they sent over there. Just because they appeal to your emotion? Anybody over there, you're all on your fucking own. Anybody over there, you're all on your fucking own, okay? So, it might behoove people to come up with this mentality. Try to make your own community better. Try to make places for people to go in the winter so they don't fucking freeze to death and die. Because the governments ain't gonna do it. They spent $11 million on a bus depot in Taos for transit when every person without a car could have gotten a reasonably priced used vehicle Everyone could have got what they need. And that building still sits unpopulated. It's just an empty building that they spent a whole lot of fucking money on because they can. The stupid cousins. You let stupid people sit in the important chairs. It don't bode well for the rest. Now they're making, they've been doing this, they tried to do this shit in fucking Taos like 2 years ago. They're like, we're gonna make off-grid living illegal. Dude, the maces out there. You got fucking unhinged people with guns that don't give a fuck, and a fucking judicial system that doesn't keep people in jails. So you fucking put that shit together. And they know where you live. So, we're getting to that point. Like, people are putting them fucking selves at risk. If you don't start helping more people, that's why I'm a peaceful being. You don't put your hands on people out of anger either. But not everybody thinks like me. And there's a lot of fearful people with guns all over the place. Kids, 14-year, like, getting shot in dorms. Why is a 14-year-old in dorms at a college? Where's his parent? Where are the parents? Where are all his parents? They just, but they'll just swear up and down, we taught them right and wrong, but they never done nothing for themselves either or anybody else. So, they do, the thumbnail is the base where I was stationed. It's Offutt Air Force Base. It was one of the biggest, StratCom's where the buttons are. It was, when you first get there, all the wet behind the ear airmen. See, I'm too old. They couldn't fucking bullshit me. I went in at like 26. I was 8 years older than the average person that I was surrounded by. And they just came from, being all-stars and getting all this fucking advantage that they got stripped away. I never had that fucking advantage. So, welcome to the show. The recruiter, I was an adult. I would talk to him like I was an adult. That's how I'd know. I'd say, hey, dude, are police the lowest test scores on the ASVAB? He said, no, they're the second. So you give the second least group of least intelligent people, all they needed is a 37. 36, if you're wondering, the lowest is services. So the people that like the maids, the people that work in, like that clean up, like the people that make the fucking eggs in the mess hall and shit, like the little bitches, the people that wipe down the gym equipment. It's like, yeah, you can serve your country, but you're fucking washing towels, little bitch, because you ain't that smart. That's what, like, there's tiers of production, right? I was in maintenance. I got like a 97 in high school. They wanted me long ago, but I was too busy drinking, partying, carrying on, living that best life. Then I realized I started seeing how the future was looking, and that's one of the easiest ways that I could have, play the game. If I do this, then I can use the IJJ so I don't have to get a bunch of college debt. Then I can get a college education like everybody tells me to do, and then I can perpetuate playing the games. And then I went on to work in universities and these big old huge companies, security companies, and every time I worked at a different organization, I would see how much money people were making based on fake ideologies. Like security is based on how secure my security in life isn't based on the threats out there. It's based on how secure I feel within myself. And if I'm secure in myself, I'm going to be balanced enough to be tuned into my own discernment, which tells me when I shouldn't fucking put myself in possessions that I have no business in. So I don't ordinarily go out a lot, but anyway. I used to do the concerts. My phone is full of Mumford and Sons, frickin'. I went to all kinds of because I got dumped and I started dating myself. So The last year I was in the military, I was in production support. So that we took care of every single tool. I was the TODO. I was the TODO is what my title was. The Technical Order Distribution Officer. So they had these big old huge binders. So for every maintenance action, there was an instruction for that maintenance action. So you couldn't change a tire, even if you've changed 1,000 tires. You'd have to have the book open with the page open and then like you have to be on the same page. You can't get that is what the military is powerless people that try to control others, and it makes them little itty bitty dictators. So I can't pay too much attention about what they're doing with their little rituals, what they're doing. It's all ritual. Everything they do is a ritual. Look at this shit. Here's one. I was looking through my screenshots. Where is it? Screenshots. Looks like this shit. Like they think they're so fucking cool because they're all gay men. That was my brother right there. Fucking meathead machismo. They like to beat up on little girls. They'll bully their daughters. They're like fucking assholes. While they're all a great deal of them are having gay man relations in far off countries. And then we pay them. Look at this shit. Where's that? Oh, it's all ritual. When you see this, it's all ritual. It's look how much life force we can just suck. Like, how many... We never have to have any houseless anyone if people use their energy wisely. But we gotta play these fucking ReignDeer games. Dude, there is no freedom. There's no democracy. They're just words written in ink that printers got paid to print. It's more about the printers getting paid. Systems exist. They're all each little incremental little welfare systems. Every company, from a Taco Bell franchise to the Offutt Air Force Base and all the organization that get orders there. Orders are just like, yeah, you'll do what we say. You come get the same benefits and bullshit that, we'll let you be a part of our club. Because you'll not follow the same rules and regulations, policies, and procedures that we won't. I mean, they did the military, like the misappropriation of funds is just absurd. And I had this girl, I had a roommate. She wasn't a very good person. She cross trained out of age into contracting. And she was like, I can't believe how much the government spends on stuff. And I was just like, yeah. But single parents are fucking dying. It's just this country's gross. Because a group of people say this is how it is, and then everybody else is just supposed to fucking blindly fall in line. Without it, and then sell flags, shit like that, have parades. All of that. So what? The flag maker so the guy that stands there and watch the flags go by in the conveyor belt, he can make $25 an hour because he got the job from his cousin. But hey, they get a nice bonus every day because every little town square that spends $5,000-$6,000 and gets flags from their company, they get a little bonus. And that's what they spent in Taos this last year, like Memorial Weekend. They have, and they don't just use the same flags over and over. They throw those flags away, and then they buy new flags because they have allocated funds for these things that they don't need. None of it. So one guy looked at my T-shirt and said, "Oh, I'm sorry," and I forgot why, and then I was like, "Oh, my shirt." And then I was hobbling back to my car, and then another dude, he's like, "No, don't be sorry." I said, "Oh yeah," I said, "This country is complete shit." Like, look, any of you people holding your little flags and your signs. Like, I'm out here getting exercise. You guys are out here fucking taking up space, getting people to honk. But you all meet at the same restaurants. Y'all hang out at the same places that only benefit a few, and I'm trying to help the people at the bottom. That's all I'm about, is benefiting people at the bottom that have jack shit. They have nothing, because me and Mom had nothing for so many years. Now we got a little something extra to share to people, even if it's a fucking, a sticker. People like stickers. It's just something that people, just like, if everybody just gave a little bit of themselves freely, there would be a lot more excess in the world. But look at all the people that are all caught up in this fucking, like, Bitcoin. I remember when that came out in 2009. I got an IT background. I'm tracking all things. Like, well, I don't do intelligence artificial because I can't fucking stand the people that are in the career field. So I can tell how the career field's going to go based on the people that are perpetuating that storyline. Now those toys, now I look at all that stuff as toys, drones and stuff like that. And the way I look at it, it's free reign. Anybody over your airspace, you get a right to take it out. Target practice. That's what I look at, little drones, little fucking dog, little robot dogs and stuff like that, little toys. They're C+ fucking science awards. That's all that is. Chop wood, carry water, and fucking shelter from the elements, because people don't really have a chance against, like, what the earth is bringing. I know there's that storm out in the Atlantic right now. It's all bubbling up. You got the people at Harp. They're like, okay, which way should we send it? With their little fucking joysticks. Because they think they're God. So they have to control everything. They have to make it how they want. People that don't have a higher power, that don't believe in good orderly direction, they have tendencies to fall that way. I know that because I lived that way for a number of years. I lived for my ego. Until I had a moment of clarity. That if I don't take care of Ma, ain't nobody else on this fucking planet will. Because they haven't up until this point. They failed her when she was a fucking baby. Hence the whole system of all these people that got direct deposit. I'm getting hot. All these people got direct deposit for saying, we care. Let's help the children. Let's care about the children, when fucking they traffic the children. And coming from my history about what happened to me at 10 months old and why my hip still pops, that's a good indicator that the system that are all supposed to be protecting the children, you didn't do it, and you still got paid. All these people, they got paid for doing a job they didn't do, and now look at where America's at. And I'm just like, ha 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 ha. This is what we get because they fucking dropped the ball. Firemen, or they can't even fucking carry hoses because they can't even carry their own burden of their guilt from their past. Police officers, psh, they're merry maids. They don't stop crime. They get paid to clean up the messes. That makes them glorified merry maids. I live in New Mexico. No crime is fucking stopped any day. Crimes are not stopped in New Mexico. They just clean up the after. And then they go sit at their desk and they wait for somebody to fucking get pissed off at their cousin and call and turn them in. Is there any reward money? Don't do it because it's the right thing to do. Like how many people are coming out of all these cockroaches and mainstream media and all these people with their podcast, these famous people coming back 20, 30 years after their shows ended, talking about how things really were. And I'm like, no, I knew you could feel like that's how things really were then, but you just benefited for going along with that bullshit story because you were just getting paid and partying and doing all this weird shit. But so and there's so many people in Hollywood and stuff. I can't look at people, not even there, just fake people. I can't look at people with a straight face that have had fucking Botox and have had face. I can't. I can't. Because my head is going fucking fake. And anything that comes out of their mouth, I'm like, all I hear is fake. Nothing they say is true because their fucking face isn't even real. Fake. DC, fake. Hollywood, fake. Religion, fake. Sports, fake. And now, America, as a civilization, is falling down because Biff is a bottom bitch. Because when you need money to make yourself comfortable, you will never be comfortable because money isn't real and you could never have enough to ever make you feel better. Because people like that, it's a currency, it's a vibrational frequency people are after. People want to be elevated and be all buzz all the time. That's not what life is about. You got to have down times. You got to have periods of nothing. You got to get hurt and feel hurt. And then resolve that hurt. So it doesn't add on to all of the other hurt that's going to accumulate if you rack up any kind of years on this fucking planet. These are just things I've come to find out with all of my education and all of my vast background. It's mostly spiritually. A substantial amount earthly. I've had 5 near-death experiences before I was 15 years old. So these people are like coming into experiences now. They're adults in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. But they've never had experience. All they've experienced is the script that was laid out in front of them. I think about how many people go to a college just because that's where their family always went. That's when people get stuck in a vibrational frequency. That's when people get stuck. You're stuck in somebody else's past. You're living the life that somebody else wants you to live. You know, a lot of people, when they get born, you know, they have babies and they don't know astrology. And this kid just starts acting a way and it's like, oh my God. You know, like, why would you have an Aquarian? Like, why would you do this to create a kid to not, you know, like... Ugh. We're just recipes of energy, and there's so many parents that don't energetically match with their kids. That I was so fire, but I came from fire. I'm fire from fire. My father's Aries. He's April Aries. I mean, he's March Aries. I'm April. We're different. Mom's Sagittarius, so fire. And I don't got no earth. So that energy of earth, it's an unfamiliar feeling. So I find it oh so attractive in others. It's oh so endearing in others. Well, it's just because it fascinates me. Like, how do people not twirl? And I came from a Virgo sandwich is what my life lessons. I had a younger Virgo sister. Rest in peace. Because an imbalanced Virgo lives from ego and not spirit, and they burn fast. They do that. What did my cousin say that happened to Benny? She said, I said it happened so fast. He was just like really agitated, and then I woke up and he was dead. Like he was like really active, like he couldn't lay down and stuff. And then anyway, but she's like, yeah, sometimes animals when they get old, and people too. It's like fast burn. Like they speed up so fast they just kind of short out. That's how I see it. And I've seen people do it. It's important how you live in this life, because how you live in this life and how you exit this life. And how you exit this life is going to be how you enter the next one. So, I've seen too much evidence to dispute it. And then there's those people that don't believe that like reincarnation exists. Hey Tanya, what's up? Like, energy doesn't die. You take your last breath, or your dog or your cat, that goes out. So every truth that is known to that last breath is truth that we can grasp if we are of the truth. We can grasp their truth. Because spirits go into the ethers, into the no place space. That's where all the data is held. So, I'm getting feeble. That's what's funny is, like, I look okay, but, like, I'm broke down. Like, I'm busted. Like, my body is just, like, that's why I work so hard to stay, like, at least maintain a level of fitness. Because I think everybody that lives, like, at some point, we all have, like, ultimately at some point, we all sit in a chair and never get up. We all take our last poop. Like, the dashes in this incarnation are so short, yet people waste so much on themselves. When ultimately there's going to be periods of time in the future that nobody that lives is going to know who anybody that is living in 2025 is right now. But we are all, so we're all going to, ultimately one day we're going to be dead and buried. Everyone that's on planet Earth right now, at this second. Our bones are going to be on Earth. There's going to be a point in time that other beings are going to be here, that are going to be us reincarnated, walking amongst our bones, just in a different soul sack. Still trying to learn the lessons that have been played on rinse it and repeat for 2,000 years and longer, for all of recorded history. Just because you have a group of people that want to chase sensations and do shit that you can't take with, and then you have another group of people that it's just like, hey, why can't everybody have a good time? Because it's about balance. And stop doing weird shit with fucking kids and animals, man. It's just like, people might come through unscathed and do all these terrible, humane things, you know, and get away with it in this life. You can't get away from that shit. World War III is of a spiritual variety. So whatever damage you cause in this life, I heard recently somebody was talking about, like, would you go to, would you enter heaven? I don't look at heaven as a place, stuff like that. Like the pearly gates, stuff like that, no. But this person said that when you go to heaven and you're at the pearly gates, that every animal you ever had is there, and they get to, or every animal you've ever had a reaction with, like, they get to decide if you get to come in or not. And I was like, oh, wouldn't that be cool? But we're all animals, and I see how people treat each other, that, you know, they're supposedly love every day. I'm one of those, I believe in the spirit of love, but, like, the word is just, it can't really encompass all that the spirit of love means to me. And I've had more people say it that didn't mean it. And so it's another one of that, You know, it's just another tool of manipulation, and often in many cases. So, words, you know, it's always the energy behind stuff. People could say stuff all day, but what they do, that shows where their heart space really is. Anyway, I'm just going to be chill all day. I'm about to lay down. We're going to put Leanne on. Watch that, huh, Ma?
Yeah.
Are you good, Ma?
Yes.
Are you happy?
Yes.
Are you content?
I'm content.
Mom's content.
And this morning.
She wins.
Yeah.
When I think of all the other little 74-year-old people that never went through near what she's gone through in her life, like they couldn't, because they just all did the same stuff. They came a part of the program. She was no part of the program. She fell through the cracks, and I fell through the cracks, and then we started realizing, wait a minute, the program is only for people that want to go along with it, and anybody outside that. Like, I live in Taos, fucking New Mexico. How significant intelligence artificial you think is gonna be here? But they're gonna find ways to spend money on that shit, as long as they don't have to give fucking people a roof over their head. Whatever they can do to create strife and pain, you know, because then they go home and then they're like, oh my God. They think they made an impact. They think they do good. They all think they do good, and none of them do good. So, it's hurricane season. This is going to be interesting. That's what I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.